What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with a special message to you. Hey, look, if you're listening to this, there's a likelihood that you missed a lot of good information that we were given on SML Podcast the other day. And I just want to let you know that if you missed SML Podcast, it's okay. It's all right. YouTube was acting a little janky. There's a lot of things going on that morning. It is A-okay. But I'm here to tell you specifically this, that there was probably not the biggest cluster of Stadia news this week kicking off the new year, but there was enough to cause, I want to say, some controversy and just really highlight some different points within the Stadia community, which I always say you can't be wrong for your opinion. It's just sometimes we caution those that try to talk in absolutes about things that may not be factual at the moment yet, you know what I'm saying, based off of speculation. That being said, great community discussions as always, the best community in the world, a lot of different takes on a lot of different things, particularly about Digital Foundry, but we'll get into that. Hey, look, we have a new segment on the show where we highlight community members. All right, something we're going to be doing week in and week out. Definitely check out who the community member is that we highlighted at the beginning of this show. Also, what you're going to want to do is take heed to some of the games and stuff that are forthcoming to the platform. We just touched on that a little bit in the forms of subscriptions. There's a lot of subscription models out there. A lot of people are trying to compare and contrast the subscription models that are out there opposed to what Stadia has. I'm always in the camp of, hey, look, X may have more games, but it's about quality over quantity. I'm a Ruth Chris Steakhouse type of dude, opposed to a Golden Corral type of cat where you got 55 dishes that all taste like old cauliflower. You know what I'm saying? So we have that discussion. We flesh that out thoroughly. We talk about some of the tech stuff that we were getting into in the after party of SSC podcast. We touch on a lot of that. And then we go into the big ticket item. Now you're probably wondering, MM2K, what the heck is the big ticket item? Well, the big ticket item, which I'm about to show you a snippet of, is the conversation about Digital Foundry and their comparison of Google Stadia's version of Cyberpunk 2077 versus the Xbox Series X version. It highlights that there were different opinions about this, but from the side of the opinion aisle where we're coming from, the issue so much wasn't the raw numbers. It was what Digital Foundry tried to do as they packaged this information. Like, it's kind of difficult to do high-tech analysis unless both things that you're comparing are both in optimal settings. Now, the homie Sunny Cloud Gaming has a great take on this. We also urge that you listen to him and listen to his take. He puts it perfectly. But here's just some of the things that we had to say in regards. Even though they made it seem like that they were in optimal Stadia settings and Stadia was inferior, the gap really wasn't that big, right? So again, the raw numbers weren't horrible. But if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. The next game, they'll be in back of a Red Lobster off a cellular service. You know what I'm saying? And making it seem like that's optimal. And then that's really going to sway someone's purchasing decision. So it's like I always said, don't be sitting there giving an inch to these entities that have a non-corresponding agenda just because they said something nice. Were the numbers that Richard Ledbetter came to, were they okay? Yes, they were fine. But he did not do his job accurately. And that within itself is the problem, the underlying problem. As soon as he said, I am in a parking lot and I'm doing Wi-Fi, that's when the comparison was shot to hell. That's when it was shot to hell. That's when the video pretty much was rendered pointless as a comparison, and then it was switched over to a single analysis video. Forget everything that he said about Xbox Series X because it doesn't even matter, for the simple fact that you cannot compare Xbox Series X in optimal settings and where you're not in optimal settings with Stadia. So with that said, y'all, I mean, that pretty much summarizes a lot of our takes on this. But then me and Project Storm go further because there's some points that we agree with, others that we don't. It was a really, really robust and very, very in-depth discussion. A lot of people are talking about it, and the thing that I do find positive about all this is that nobody's like really upset. Like, you don't feel any venom from the Stadia community. I know there was descriptions of pitchforks and things like that, but I really didn't feel that. And again, that's my personal opinion. I don't want to say anybody else is wrong from that, because different strokes for different folks. But what I'm basically saying is that I felt like the community was more or less critiquing why there wasn't a balance and a comparison, opposed to just, looking at the raw numbers and say, oh, we don't like these raw numbers. I don't think anybody was upset. I mean, if you look at the flip side of it, you look at the fact that they had to go drive up Digital Foundry to siphon internet, in the back of a Red Lobster, like I allude to in the video pretty much. I mean, not so much, but that's the ambiance that you get, that they were siphoning internet in the back of a Fat Burger, right? And playing in an old 4K laptop in the back of a Dodge Beetle. And they still got comparable figures and raw numbers to the world's most powerful console at $500. This is a $0 platform for entry. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, to me, it says a lot about the platform. It says a lot about the promise of it going into 2021 and 2022. And what it also says is it's a big reflection on Digital Foundry's dismay and loathing of cloud gaming. And I hate to see Richard Ledbetter put in the middle of this, but he was a sacrificial lamb. And I say in the video, in the show, he goes down a couple notches. But that's not all that we say. There's a bunch of stuff that we cover in this video, a bunch of opinions and thoughts that we express. You guys express the greatest chat alive. So definitely, I urge you, if you missed SML podcast, if you missed that episode 15, I believe it is, definitely go and check it out ASAP. The link is below. Look at this. I'm so hyped about it. I'm choking up. The link is in the description. Go listen to it. It was on Project Storm's channel. You don't want to miss it. SML Podcast. We air it every week, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's either on this channel or on Project Storm's channel. So next week, be ready for some more SML. With that said, thank you very much for listening to this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Always check us out. Stadia Dosage, we're dropping stuff all the time. We're going to increase this platform tremendously for you, the community. And with that said, thank you for hearing me out. Love y'all, and have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.